In Omaha that will put you in the chair the same day if you need an extraction. The cost, a fraction of what you would pay in an emergency room and sometimes your dentist's office.
It's the Creighton University's School of Dentistry's after-hours clinic. Our Bella Caracta is on your side with how this fills a gap in the community. Bella?
John, Erin, the after-hours clinic opened in 2019. Because of the pandemic, it closed, and in August of last year, it reopened. Since then, they've served more than 250 patients in pain. Now they look to expand their impact in the community.
Open real big. There you go. Good job.
Inside Creighton University School of Dentistry is their after-hours clinic.
The pain was constant. It wouldn't stop.
Where people like Rafael Flores can turn when other places fail him.
This was the only one that I could get an appointment on, and I was really thankful because I could not see myself waiting any longer.
Fourth-year dental students volunteer at the clinic.
A lot of pressure here, okay?
With the supervision of residents and doctors.
One of our core values is service to others.
I am a Blue Jay through and through.
Yesenia Morales is a fourth-year dental student who volunteers her time at the clinic.
¿Está bien? Muy bien.
Not for money, not even for school credit.
Creighton is my home, and I really believe in the Jesuit values, and that goes hand in hand with serving our community.
The after-hours clinic serves about 10 patients a night on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but the leaders are eager to expand to serve more people and possibly hire more staff.
It makes you feel good, but it really is helping the patient. It's also helping the students.
Patients pay $100 for an extraction that could cost hundreds more elsewhere, even cheaper than Flores's copay with insurance, he says.
It wasn't like it didn't break the bank.
This option saves the patient money, but it also saves strained emergency room time.
Not only costly, but it also overloads ER with things they're not readily available or not readily equipped to treat.
Rather than waiting in an ER and being sent home with a painkiller.
I'm walking around here with no pain right now, so I would say that's a win for me.
This is funded by multiple sources, and the dean of the dentistry school says the clinic is here to stay. Again, it's open Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. and walk-ins are welcome. On your side in the newsroom, Bella Caracta, 6 News.
Bella, thank you.